Hello, all. Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, based on wherever you're seeing this. So, as promised, today we'll be doing a data upgrade from Business Central 21 to Business Central 25. And as you guys know, that I'm following the list of top countries that are watching this channel, and today we'll be doing it for Canada. So, we'll be doing a Business Central 21, I guess 21.5 Canada to Business Central 25.2 Canada. And you know the drill. Do let your questions into the comments to this video. The scripts which are publicly available will be available on the GitHub, and the link of that GitHub repo will be available in the description and the pinned comment. So let's get started with it. So today, somebody requested for the Canada environment, we have the same scenario more or less. On the customer table, we have three fields: demo code, decimal, and date. And in the same way, we have these three fields on the vendors on my custom PTE. And then additionally, there is a table called EDH or EDC, sample entries, and this have a table. Consider this as a table which have some records. Additionally, there are three companies into it: the Cronus Canada, the Mock, and the Test Company. And as far as extension is concerned, somebody requested, and that's why we created this environment today. We have very limited set of extension, and customer have asked that they want their environment as it is. Means they don't want any new extension, they just want whatever the extensions they have. Okay. Now the custom extension right now is pointing to version 1. Okay, let me get into the list. This version 1. During the upgrade process, we'll upgrade it to version 2.0, which is compatible with Business Central 25.2. Okay, what we'll be following, the link will be available in the pinned comment in the description, so don't worry about it. We'll following upgrade path for Business Central 2024 release wave 2. We'll get into upgrade application and data from version 15 and later. Now this article will have all the steps that are needed to upgrade, and we'll just follow that. For Business Central 25 upgrade, you need to make sure that you have Business Central 25 installed for sure. And for installation of Business Central 25, you need to make sure that you have the full text search SQL Server installation option enabled. If you don't know about it, head up to the upgrade playlist on YouTube channel, and there should be a video here how you install the full text search for Business Central. All upgrade related videos are available in this playlist, and the link of this playlist will also be available in the description as well as on the pinned comment. Okay, so let's get started. This is currently pointing to BC 210, country is Canada, and we are going to upgrade this environment to Business Central 25.2. So right now, if you see, it's 21.5. Okay, let's quickly let me run the first step, and then we'll talk about that step as we move forward. In this step, we are running it on Business Central 21, and we're making sure that we uninstall all the extension and unpublish all the symbols that are available in this particular environment. Once all that is done, we will, okay, there's an error. Oh, it did not find the directory. Let me just quickly check. Okay, and I don't run it before these videos, so you might not see this. Okay, program files, Business Central 210, that all look good. Service and the panel. Okay, let me copy it. If I'm doing something wrong, I'll get corrected at this point. Okay, there might be an extra space, so let me just run the module. It loads the command, and now I'll run everything so that all this get removed. Okay, I guess. Okay, and let me run these three again. Now the errors that you're seeing is because there are cross dependencies, so don't worry about them. Once all of this gets removed and you'll try to refresh your environment, you'll notice that you can't get into it right now. It's completely out because there is no extension at this moment. So we have done that. Let me just do the final step, which is stopping the service once everything is done, and that will make sure that the service has been stopped. Okay. Now this is the part that you have to do on the Business Central 21. It can be 21.0 to 21 point whatever version that you're using. It doesn't matter. So I'll close this and we'll walk you through around, or first let's walk you through around these steps. Okay. So you need to get the info and then you need to uninstall all extension, and this command is available here, which I'm using in the PowerShell, which is the first part gets the info about the extensions, and then the second part gets the output from this using because of this pipe symbol, and use those as percentage placeholders here as name and version. Then it uninstalls all the extensions. Then you need to unpublish all system symbols, and this command does that, and then you have to stop the service here. Now this step is only applicable if you are prior to these versions. So if you're prior to these versions, then you will be using or clearing some settings on SQL Server database, which is not needed on this particular video. So as this is done, let's close this. And now we'll head up to the version 25 steps, where majorly what happens is you technically convert your BC 21 database to a 25 platform, and for this there is this PowerShell command to invoke the conversion, which requires your database name and your database server. Once the conversion is over, you need to set the service parameter, which includes setting up the database name, database server, task scheduler, and then once you have set these, you have to restart the nav server. If you want, and it's an optional thing, to import Business Central 25 developer license. Now after one of the version, I don't remember exactly where, but Microsoft have made it clear that you can actually do an upgrade using customer license. There is actually one of that video with the customer license here if you want to see. So you can actually do an upgrade with customer license, so you don't have to run this, but if you want, you can import the license and then restart the service. Once that is done, you head up to the synchronization of the tenant. After the sync is over, we will be publishing the extension, and I'll come to this. Okay, so here we are on our step 2. This runs on Business Central 25. As I said, we'll be using 25.2. If you're using a higher version, you change this here. This is where I'm converting the database to platform of 25. This executes the conversion. Once it is over, you will notice that the conversion has been successfully completed with this message. Then here I'm configuring the server, where I'm setting up the database server, database name, task scheduler, and then restarting the service. I'll select the batch and run this. Now, as you know, when you change anything on the service tier, you have to restart the service. So at the end of this, you see that there is a restart and server instance, which eventually restarts the service that is pointing to this database. Then as we read, we'll run the synchronization process. Now the synchronization process makes sure that the schema of all your tables have no losses and everything remains intact. If there is any issue on the sync, that means you are making a destructive change at any point in this moment. Now I'll run the publish and I'll explain it as we go through it. And after the publish, there is a restart. So let me run this. Okay. So Okay, there's an error. License file. Okay, maybe I don't have the license imported on this one. That's why I'm getting this error. So what I'll do is I'll pause the video. I'll make sure that there is a license file uploaded, and then we'll run this. So as you can see here, there's an error while reading the license file, and you need to make sure that it is the right license that is attached to this database. So let's pause it. So I've uploaded the license, and now I'm trying to run the publish command again. And if you are a regular viewer of this channel, you might kind of it'll be a repeat for you, but if you're watching it for the first time, let me explain my approach onto it. So what I've done here already, I have a folder called core apps. Now all the apps that are available in business central environment for your customers, or if you are a customer, depends on these apps. These are the foundation apps more or less for your business central environment, which includes application, base application, business foundation, which is new in version 24 or 23, I don't know, and then the system application. So what I've done, that I've copied all these apps from the application folder of 25.2 product DVD and then placed them here, because without these you cannot proceed with the upgrade. These are the bare minimum requirement, and they go with a specific order. So let me walk you through around that order. So the process, it follows the system application, business foundation, base, and application, because there are dependencies of these application on the prior extensions, which you can also notice here that when it comes to publish extension, Microsoft article also talks about that as minimum you will have to publish the new base system extension, which the base application has a dependency on the foundation app as well as the system application app. So you will notice that Microsoft also suggests you to first publish the system application. The second is your base application or business foundation application, sorry. And then the third is the base app. And fourth is your application app. Once you install these four or publish these four, you are good to do the bare minimum upgrade that's needed. And then once that is done, once the upgrade is over, we'll think about other apps that our customers are using. Now remember, in the app word, the upgrade logic is written within the app. So it doesn't matter that you publish all the apps first or you follow this sequence, because each app has its own upgrade logic. So irrespective of what sequence you follow, other than the dependencies condition, you will be good to kind of follow whatever sequence you want. But these are the bare minimum foundation apps that you need to make sure that they are published, synchronized, and upgraded before you move further into the upgrade process. So once the publishing will be over, we will have to synchronize the tenant with the extension. Now this step, sync each and every app again in the same order: system application, business foundation, base application, and application. Now remember, in all these sync statement, you need to specify the version of the app that you are trying to synchronize. Now let's understand what it does. The synchronization steps, which is here, this set, make sure that the new app that you're installing, which is 25.27733.27999, is not making any destructive changes on the existing app. So sync does that validation to make sure that nothing is being deleted or dropped. In case if there is a deletion found, the sync end up with an error message. So it's a very important step, and you need to remember that you never ever do a sync with force, even if you are on-prem. If you're doing sync with force, that means in that particular extension you have done something wrong. So always, because I get a lot of queries that, oh yeah, the sync was not happening and we added the flag to do force for it, But I can tell you, after all these upgrades, that never ever do a synchronization with the force ever, either to Microsoft app and even for your apps, unless you know what you're doing. So because the synchronization, make sure that the table schema is intact and there's no data loss between these two versions. Okay, so once this will be done, we will be good to move ahead. I'll give it some time to kind of see what's happening here, and we'll pause the video, and then before I run the sync, I'll resume it. Okay, so publish is over for us and the restart is also done. Let's now run the sync for all these apps in the same order to make sure that there are no changes which will be deleting any data from any of the tables or fields from Microsoft. Now remember, as I said earlier, that when you are running sync, to make sure that you have to specify the version. The reason why that is important is because at that stage there are two system apps, two base apps, and two application apps in your environment. These three apps that I said are also available in version 21. So when you run the sync, to make sure that compiler understand which app to synchronize, you need to specify the version of the newer app. Now with the newer app sync version specified, it'll try to check that any tables that are part of these extensions are not making any destructive changes. So once the sync is over, which happened pretty fast, we'll have to upgrade the data. As I said, the upgrade step is part of each and every app. So each app has their own upgrade routine, and as I run through it, I'll just walk you through why there is an install in the middle. Okay, so now we are running a start nav data upgrade for system application, which will get upgraded to 25.2 to 773 to 779, and also we are running upgrade for base and application with the same version. But in the middle, we are trying to install the business foundation, and the reason behind that is because business foundation was not available in version 21, so it cannot be upgraded. Plus it need to be done in the same order, because for the base app, the business foundation is a dependency, so I can't go and do that later, because to upgrade the base application, it requires the business foundation. So let's go back to the article. Once you've done the synchronization, you run the upgrade for system application, you install the business foundation in this case, and you upgrade the base and application. The start nav data upgrade step automatically installs the new version of these extension on your particular environment, so you're good there. Now I'm skipping all this and this also. At this point, we are at a step where you need to update the control add-in, which are available in Business Central out of the box. For updating, or before that, I guess we missed it somewhere, so I'll just run this and then I'll show it to you. Okay. So somewhere before this, let me see where that is, because when you run fast, you kind of skip the steps. But for each tenant, you need to start the nav data upgrade for that particular tenant with the serial mode and skipping the app version check. Now this makes sure that the upgrade step is run, and to get the status of it, you can run the get nav data upgrade, and then you can say tenant default, tenant okay, detailed, and then you can see it in a, I like to see it in a grid view, and I forgot the server instance, my bad. Okay, now this, what it'll do, it'll show you what steps has been run on which company. So you see now that all these upgrade step has been run, and at the end you will also see a state of each and every step. Also it'll tell you the duration of each step that it took to complete that step, and while the upgrade is being running, you can run this command to see where you are right now. There might be 5 steps which are completed, there might be 4 steps which are left, so it'll show you all the progresses there. But this automatically does not get refreshed. Anytime you want to update, you have to run the command again. As I said, after that we'll update the control add-in. If I'm not wrong, there is one add-in which causes error because that's not available, but we'll see that. As you see this blinking DOS window, that's because each and every line, whenever it is running, it's kind of executing it with the PowerShell. Okay, last but not least, if I right now go to my Business Central environment of 252, I should be able to see the company. I should be able to see majority of things that I've used. Okay, let's wait for it. So we see the multi-company switcher. So we have the 3 companies. Let's go to the customers. Do we have the custom field on customer? Let's verify. Okay, it's taking a little bit of time to load, but if you notice, there are no custom fields added because we haven't handled the upgrade for the custom extension. When I go to the extension management page, I only see my foundation or the core apps for the upgrade, which is application, base, foundation, and system application with the appropriate version that's needed. But there's one more thing that haven't happened yet. Let's see. When I go to help and support, what I notice here is that it says that the platform is 25.2, but my application is still pointing to 21.5. To make sure that this gets updated, there is a step listed here, which is down there after control add-in, that you also have to change the application version. Now people tend to leave this, but this is important for help and support to make sure that you display the right version. For this, I have already created the command. Don't worry, all these commands will be available on the GitHub repo. Now this makes sure that the application is set, the tenant is synchronized, upgrade is run, and everything looks good. Now at this point, my environment should not run this 210, should not run LCS. Okay. So now if I go ahead and refresh this and then go to help and support, I'll be able to see that it's pointing to 25. I might have to restart the service, but no. 21 still refers to 21. So that means it hasn't been updated yet. It'll take some time, or I'll need to restart the service, but after that you'll be able to notice that this is 25. Okay, but this is not where we started from. We started with a good amount of extension, not everything that comes from Microsoft, but most of the extension that my customer was using. So for that, what I've done here is, other than the core app, there is an existing app which need to be upgraded. So these are the apps that my customer is using. Out of them, the first one is the PDE that I have built, and all these apps are actually coming from the application folder based on whatever my customer was using. Once I have that, we have an in-house command which we can't share at this moment. I provide the path to the folder, and inside this it makes sure that it installs the extension. So let's see. We'll notice here on the messages about what's happening with each and every extension, and as it moves forward, it'll make sure that each and every extension that is part of it is getting upgraded. So as soon as we talk about it, I think we should be able to see that my permission mark app is upgraded. Now my custom extension is upgraded to 2.0, and so on and so forth. You will notice that one by one these extensions are getting upgraded to the latest version, and the data associated with it will also be available in version 25.2. Business headings is being installed or upgraded right now. Permissions that are associated with North America or Canada, more or less, they should be Canada, but surprisingly permissions are still North America, which is not a surprise for me. But if you think that I'm doing something wrong, let me know, but I don't think that that's a problem. So if you notice that even in the product DVD it says North America, but eventually these are Canada based uh, permissions. While this is happening, as I refresh, you'll notice that my extension management page is being updated and there are newer and newer extensions that are available. So I'm just waiting for this to kind of complete all the 18 apps upgrade which are part of the existing folder, and it'll automatically do that, and we'll be able to see all those apps in my environment here. Now if I go back to my customer, I should be able to see my custom fields that I've created. Here it is, then demo fields, and same with the vendors. You will notice that the data is still in place, which is this. And then our custom table sample entries also have the data. Now remember, I have the data on all these fields and table in all three companies, and I don't have to run this step one by one for each company. It just does the magic because it's dependent on the tenant and they get installed. So let's see the final step, which is, did my help and support page got updated or not? If not, I might restart the service, but let's see. Not yet. Okay, let's just try to re-log into the page and see, maybe that helps. If it doesn't, then we'll restart the service. Help and support 25.2. So now if you notice that my platform is 25.2 and my application is also 25.2, because that's what my customer is using. Any other extension that is new to Business Central 25, which is not available in Business Central 21, you can always do a publish, sync and install of those apps. With this being said, these two PowerShell command, not this one and what you need to run on BC21 will be available on the GitHub repo, and the repo address will be available in the description and the first pinned comment. Now at this point, you know the drill, but before we talk about it, we are open for business. So if you have any business requirements, please reach out to us at info@consulting.com, and we'll be happy to help you and your customers if needed. We work with customers and partner globally, so reach out to us if there is a business requirement. And at this point, you know the drill. If you think this is something that you liked, hit the like button. If you think your friends, family, colleague will learn something out of it, do share it on your social media, because that helps to have a better reach and people learn about these things. And if you haven't, then please do subscribe to the channel. And as I say, if you have any kind of questions related to this video or any other video, please make sure to add that into the comments. Good or bad, that's okay. That's not a problem. I'll see you sooner than later into the next video. Till then, keep learning and keep sharing whatever you're learning, because that's why we have this channel, that we share the knowledge that we learn based on the requests that you guys make. So see you next time. Have a nice day.